Hey everybody, I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. We've got the one and the only, and I'm so grateful. Dave Koechner is joining us today, everybody. So thank you, Dave.
God bless.
We've already started the show, but we're doing the intro a little. We do that 15. It's almost like a cold open, and then
Oh, there we go. All right.
Hi, David.
Hello.
Hello, David.
Claire will let us know. Claire is our engineer. Gary, Gary's a part of the team, but we're not 100% sure if he's quit or if he's just missing.
I would try to fire him.
Did you try to fire him?
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to take, but
It hasn't yet. I've tried to fire him. You've tried to fire him.
Did you run it by Claire?
Claire, have you tried to fire Gary at any time?
So many times.
Yeah.
he's unfireable.
He's unfireable, which is, I think that's actually a great thing. He's gonna start a motivational speaking tour called Unfireable.
Hey, guys.
Oh yeah.
Guys, if you eliminate the position,
Yeah.
there's no unemployment.
Oh, my God.
We never even thought of that before. Why
Yeah,
didn't we
it
think
took-
of that, Darren?
It took us this many episodes to get to someone who has a clue.
You got like corporate skills.
So not only are you a very funny actor,
I'm
successful.
sorry. I couldn't.
Let me clear my throat. Not only is he a very funny, very successful actor, but he's also got a business acumen of giants.
Yeah, of like Gordon Gekko.
Yeah. Like
Level.
straight gecko.
Yeah.
That's
Do
not
you
real.
get accused of that a lot? Do you get like straight gecko? People come at you and say, "Man, that's straight gecko."
No, everyone thinks I'm an actual bad person. They assume I'm like Packer or Champ. They're always wary.
Oh, it's so funny you mentioned that because I end up playing a lot of comedic jerks as well. And I feel sometimes, especially from the fair sex, the eyeballs of looking out the side of the eye like, this guy's bad news. And you're like,
Yeah, they
you haven't
think
even
we're-
met me yet. You don't even know what's going on.
They think we're aggro. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there? I'm going to ask you both this, since you kind of have both done this in the past with your characters. There's got to be a little part of you that is that.
No.
And,
No.
Little.
No, I agree with Rob.
No.
Okay.
Superior acting.
Wow.
Well, that's
Superior-
not even an ego thing. We're good at our job.
Yep.
You know what? I accept that answer, and I love that.
It's the observation of the world. We've been around jerks, and we've studied them and watched them and probably developed off of their character. Noticed their characteristics, and then when it comes time to play one, we just go back to that sense memory of being around a jerk.
Why are you doing that when you're saying it?
Just saying.
Because he's acting.
Thank you.
Well,
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
make that be behind the Patreon wall.
What's that?
Patreon wall. Get paid for it.
Oh,
The stuff, yeah.
that's why
The
he's
real
gecko.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's why you're gecko, bro.
You are like you're dropping knowledge, and I feel like a little chick, and I feel like you're like the chicken or the cock. You know what I'm saying?
Cock's
I feel
fine.
I feel like you're the cock of the walk, and you're just doing it, and we're just like, oh my God.
Or
Listen to all this.
the mother duck, and we're the little ducklings walking behind.
Yeah, what's a male duck called?
A mallard.
No. That's a
don't know.
type of duck.
Okay, don't doubt Rob.
Yeah.
Claire's
God.
job to look
I
You
at.
feel-
are you are the best.
I feel like there's a little bit of a team thing going, and you know what? I will rise up. I will challenge your team.
It's symbiosis.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, you are out on are you out on the road right now? Are you currently on the road or where
currently
are
home.
you? You're at home. Okay, good.
Let me show you real quick.
I was going to say that is an awesome hotel room if it's a hotel room.
Calendar.
I love that Buster Keaton poster too,
Hey,
by
hi,
the way.
Paige.
Hi, Paige.
Hey, Paige.
Paige is my Claire.
Oh, wow.
What the?
You are, oh my gosh. I thought I was cooking with gas. You, my friend, are working.
Is that how you do it? Is that how you organize?
That's how Paige does it.
Wow.
Without Paige, I can't. Okay,
That's
so
amazing.
this is called the legend, right? This is the legend. Stand up in yellow, shoots and shows, holidays, doctors, press, events, travel.
Wow.
Unbelievable. This is the first time we've ever seen anyone's calendar like that. and I am blown away.
I like it. That's the way to do business.
You
That's
know-
getting smart.
It's Paige. I'm tactile. I can't. If I look at the my phone, I'm lost.
Right.
But this,
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Dave. Do you keep obviously you have a phone and you keep your contacts in your phone. Do you also have paper written contacts of phone numbers of people or no?
I'm not 85.
Thank you. God, I'm so sorry, Dave.
You know,
But you know why?
it's really
I
smart.
couldn't do it on the paper. Because you'd have to change it.
Yes, when the numbers change.
And the way I operate, it would have been alphabetical.
Yeah.
And then there'd be people I don't need anymore, but other people I do need, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
I understand.
That'd be a full-time job. Paige you'd have to double her wages.
Without Paige, there's nothing.
Do you have a page? Because when I got to tell you, Dave, when I walked in, I saw Rob today, and I saw this face. Ready? Watch.
Well,
And I was like, "What's wrong, man?" And he goes, "I got too much stuff going on, and it's all jumbled in my head, and I want to make sure everybody gets the attention that they need, but there's a lot of stuff." And I'm like, "You need a page."
I think
And
we could all use
And
one.
not have her.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Yeah. Well, also
Now,
nobody.
if
Let's
you,
be
if
honest.
you want Paige to train, I'm sure she'd probably do that as a side gift.
Oh wow. Well, I was obviously you got to pay for something like that, and I totally understand that. You got.
Well, it's a sliding scale. I mean, there's
Well, listen. You walked in. You caught.
One second, I'm getting some input.
I would do it for a $50 gift card at Target.
A $50 gift card at Target. Anyway, I think we might be off topic.
No, this
is
is
my
the topic.
assistant.
But
and production.
gift cards are good. We can make gift cards.
Yeah. Does she shop at Home Goods?
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
That sounded like an enthusiastic.
Done.
Good job.
Thanks you.
Good job.
Oh, by the way, does she shop at Nebraska Furniture Mart?
Nebraska Furniture Mart.
My dad's from Nebraska.
Okay. Well,
But
we'll
I
see
think
about
they're-
getting
that's
him one.
That's a chain company, correct?
It is. It's a gigantic.
It's a warehouse. It's a furniture warehouse, but they have good stuff at good prices.
I just went there for the first time.
Who owns it?
I don't know who owns it.
Johnny, Nebraska.
Johnny, Nebraska.
I'm pretty sure. I could
cut-
be wrong. I could
He's
be wrong.
single and people talk.
Dave, the stand-up world. Are you enjoying being back out there and back on stage and doing live shows?
I'm grateful. 100.
Yeah.
Grateful.
Well, good.
You know, I started doing stand-up after we had our fifth kid. I'm saying we like as if Rob and I had her.
Congratulations, guys.
Because I made the decision I can never be at someone else's mercy for work. So you did it too. You know,
Yep.
you dabbled in it. And I just decided, well, I'll have that thing there so I can always have my employment.
Right.
That's smart.
I tell you, it makes a lot of sense. But I gotta when I was doing it for I think it was probably like 5 or 6 years that I was doing stand-up out there. Building a set, keeping and reinvigorating the set and always developing. It gets better, and you get better at it over time. But building that, I guess what I'm saying is the reason I don't do it right now is because the daunting feeling of building a new set.
that's
it's
okay.
exhausting.
Yeah, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's really it's like standing at the base of a mountain and looking up, going, I got to go where?
Right.
You don't want to do it.
How-
You don't
how-
want to do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
How
Well,
often do you?
but I do love comedy, and I love performing, and I like being on stage, and I like watching people laugh, and I like when the room is hot, and there's something magical that you can never understand unless you've done it. That is very addictive, and it makes you want to come back for it. So, but it's that's the price to pay in anything. You gotta decide what you want.
Well, I would suggest then, if you want to do it, start out doing it with someone you have fun with.
Yeah.
So it's not on you.
Yeah.
And then it makes it fun and easy, little by little. If you write 1 minute a day
Yeah.
in 30 days, you got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I
So now, but you've done a cool thing though, where you've combined your stand-up with another offering. You actually do some office trivia, which is wildly popular from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's still crazy. So, I was out there all the time, and then everybody wants office stuff. And so I've been I have my same feature guy for 8 years. And when I started, you'd get a host, a middle, and then you.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes your regional middle guy has kids.
Right.
And all my stuff's kids.
Yeah.
But I'd have to tell this guy, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the host is very green. And so really, the first half hour, the audience is just not
Hanging
paying.
out. Yeah.
And so you kind of have to dig out of a hole. So I decided, no. I met Rob, and his set, he doesn't have kids. His style and set's different than mine. I said, let's just do it together. Plus, and I'm not complaining, but it was, I found myself being interviewed for 3 days in the green room.
Oh God.
Hey, what's Will Ferrell like?
Yeah.
Right.
And then because they're excited, they always bring a buddy back there. Dang, as well.
Yeah.
Can you do a no interview policy? Like, hey man, we're not doing this.
No, I just changed it because I got the same guy.
He already asked the questions.
Yeah, Rob does a full half hour, Rob Mayer, and then I do an hour. Well, actually, he and I do a bit in between for about 8 minutes
Oh, wow.
together, which is unique. And then I do my 50 minutes. It's
Oh,
fun.
that's fantastic.
I say this is a bit not humble, but it's one of the best 90 minutes on tour.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's killer.
I love that. Oh, that's awesome. That's
'cause
so good.
Why not take control of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
listen,
haven't-
believe me, we are subject to gatekeepers who are unpredictable at best.
And in the climate that you're in your business, you're waiting for the call and you think you got it, but there's crazy reasons why it doesn't happen. Yeah.
No rhyme or reason on any of this stuff.
Being your own boss, that's the way to go.
Of course. I think you're doing it right. I really do. Speaking of the acting world, are you currently working on anything we should be on the lookout for?
I think I did 4 independents last year.
Yes.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, but that's awesome. I did see you. I feel like I saw you in a clip recently on the interwebs there where you were almost like in a seersucker suit. It looked like a period piece. Maybe you were working at a department store or maybe a malt shop or something. Does that sound familiar? Or did I just have amazing, weird
Paige is
fever dream?
Okay. After Big Slick 3 years ago, went straight to Tennessee. I play. It's a drama. Hold on. It is a Southern Gothic gay coming of age story with a horror twist.
Yes,
what?
I saw it on the internet. So it's still out there in the it's being circulated right now because I saw it and I was like, hey, there's Dave. I always get excited when I see a friend on I'm like, oh, what are they doing? What is this about? So anyway, was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
I got to play a really nasty preacher.
Oh, okay.
It was a drama who has his own church, very fire and brimstone.
Okay.
And we run into I'm budding with a conservative politician.
Right.
And then they find out their son is gay. Okay. And so I come around and say I can help them because I do, what do they call it, conversion therapy.
Oh, good Lord.
Sure.
And then it's Ganymede. A Ganymede is a beautiful homosexual who will entice a straight man. I can't remember that. I should remember that monologue. Anyway, at the end of it, the dad asked me, have you had any success with this? And I say, you're looking at one.
What?
Okay. Wow. That's
freaky.
Intense.
That's freaky.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Well done. And, it's tough. Do
you remember where you filmed it? Where you filmed that?
Paducah, Kentucky. Where was it?
Paducah?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the drama?
I enjoy work.
You enjoy just all of it?
Work, yeah.
The thing, people ask me, whenever somebody asks me about you, Dave, and people do ask me about you, I always say, you need to see his dramatic work. Because they always think Champ Kind, because that's one of your great roles in the comedic world, obviously, that and many, many others, but that's the one people, Whammy, they're always going to remember that and love that.
Right.
But the drama work you've done, I remember years ago watching you in.
Thank you for smoking.
Yes, thought that was so powerful, so good. I think you're a wonderful dramatic actor. I think you need to And people say this, when they go, "You should do that." And you're like, "Really? I should?" Like that's like I just walk out the door. But I do think your dramatic work is fantastic.
I don't turn things down.
You and me both. Hey, man, we do. So Dave and I obviously do the Big Slick in Kansas City.
I got an invitation to that.
Yes,
this
you did.
year,
Yes, you did.
and I will be attending.
Good.
Because, well, first of all, I'm grateful for the invitation. Yes. Secondly, I will be a resident.
That's right. Darren's moving to Kansas City.
Missouri?
I'm moving to Platte City.
Yeah, Kansas City.
Yeah.
I got a house.
That's Missouri side.
Got a house, and I am excited to live in the area.
Yeah.
Very excited.
We welcome you with open arms.
Thank you.
You're going to have a heck of a time.
I'm super excited.
Yeah. We'll teach you the ways. We'll teach you the ways of the force.
I'm trying to learn them.
I have no doubt.
Yeah. I'm just gonna drive my truck.
Yep.
I'm gonna be quiet until I don't have to be quiet.
Okay.
And I'm gonna fish and I'm gonna golf.
These are all good things. You need to also, you're going to have to change your wardrobe a little bit with Royals and Chiefs.
I'll do whatever I need to do.
Okay, good.
I'm a chameleon.
Good.
Let's go.
Good. I just want you to have a
Some
good
overalls?
experience. Yeah.
I can get them. Yeah. I can go down to Home Depot.
And you do like Carhartt.
Hello.
Okay. Well, then we're good.
I own some Carhartt right now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Humble, but okay.
So, by the way, this thing that we've been doing now for 16 years, we've raised over $25 million now for Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City.
Unreal.
And Dave, I get excited for it. I know Dave gets excited for it because of the good that it does for Children's Mercy, and we get to go down and meet some of the children there. We get to meet some of the parents and the staff,
Sure.
doctors and nurses, and it's just amazing what they do. But it's also personally, it's my time. It's my weekend to hang out with
summer
Dave.
camp.
Yeah, it is kind of summer camp in a way. We get to hang out, and it's been fun to watch this thing grow.
It is the best charity in the country.
Yeah,
I have a question
it's the
about
most
it.
fun.
Yeah, I agree.
What was the genesis of it, and what was the first conversation that started it?
I think it started in 2009. Yeah, well, it's a kind of a long story, but basically, I had gone and done the Red Hot Nights, and it was a fine little event. We raised a lot of money, but I was introduced to the hospital. I had a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time, and I was blown away. And then I thought, but for the grace of God, that could be me.
Sure.
As one of those parents in there. So my heart went out, and I was like, you got me. I'm in. But I wanted to do something different. So started thinking about what could we do? A poker tournament.
So was this
That's why it's called a Big Slick, is because it was a poker tournament originally, and a Big Slick is an ace king in the hole.
Gotcha.
And that's why it's called the Big Slick.
So this was born out of your experience there.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And then Dave, being a Kansas City man, was instrumental in helping to bring prestige and rally and get people involved, and then serving as a host, able to jump in there and get the auction going and keep things alive. And
Rob's a leader,
moving.
and he makes a decision, and it's done. Highly organized, people coalesce around it, done. That's really what happened. Rob's a leader.
You know what? Thank you, Dave. Thank you for the
He's
clarity.
a natural leader. He doesn't confuse himself with people's worry. He's made his decision. It's going to happen, and it's adaptable.
Mm-hmm.
It's your military background that really, really helped organize that thing, I'm guessing.
Well, and also our amazing families. Our amazing families.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Our families really jumped in, and all of the hosts. And there's now 6 of us.
Yeah.
That host this thing.
It's
Paul
so
Rudd,
cool.
Jason Sudeikis, myself, Dave Koechner, Eric Stone Street, and Heidi Gardner.
It was basically run out of our purse for 6 years.
Yeah.
And I think, what year did Children's Mercy actually make the position for Tara?
For Tara, that would have been probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, it got big enough where they were making enough money that they said, okay, we'll hire an administrator,
Yeah.
Adjunct to the hospital, so it can be organized all year.
Yeah.
Because it is all year.
Yeah. It really takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of planning.
That's who I got the email from.
Yeah.
It's Tara.
Yeah, and she's amazing. The work she does and where her heart is as far as, giving back to the hospital and the community. It's pretty fantastic.
But we're able to bring in up to 50 celebrities that we've met over the years.
Yeah.
And they have the best time.
Yeah.
It's an immersive experience. It's not one night.
Right.
Where you're on a shitty tux and eat rubber chicken.
That's so
we got
cool.
we got you for 4 days, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm totally in.
That's a great way to describe it. It is immersive. And the reason the numbers of celebrities have grown is, and I'm so grateful for this, but they come at our behest, our request, and we're asking a lot. We know. We're saying give up a weekend, give up your 3 days of your free time, which is very valuable. People have families and schedules are brutal, and they do, and they come in. But once they come in, they experience it all. And then they say, hey, I want to come back next year.
And they bring a friend.
And it's grown like that to the point where we're like, oh my gosh, this is like our softball game that we play at the K, which is Royals, where the Royals play. It's like 25 on 25.
Dude, that's awesome.
So the game is not necessarily super competitive, but it's super fun always.
Yeah, all our guests have to do is have fun.
Yeah.
That's their job.
Yeah.
I love that you guys started this thing. It makes as much money as it makes for kids and the cancer research and all the cool things, but you can trace it back to one idea. Like,
Well, that's how most things start.
It's
somebody just decides to
do it.
Yeah. And then
A leader.
but then you gotta no one gets. I don't think anybody gets anything done by them. What's that? The no man's an island.
Right.
Nobody can do it by themselves. You gotta. So that's what I'm. Phone calls to Dave. Phone calls to, hey, would you want to do da 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 da? And then it starts to slowly. It's the progression of life. It's natural. It's crawl, walk, run.
But everybody's got idea. Everybody has a cool idea, man. I got a cool idea, and not a lot of ideas get done. But what your idea grew into this giant.
Well, that's because I had amazing people that were willing to take action.
Stop with the humility. It came from an act of service.
Yeah.
It was an act of service.
I love that.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Rob decided he wanted to do an act of service, and that was it. And then
speaking of, well, not that, but the last time I saw Dave in person was the SNL 50th.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Did you have a good time? Because I'm interested to hear your perspective. Because Dave and I, I thought Dave's time on SNL was fantastic. It was short-lived. My time I felt was good, short-lived. But I was interested. I'm curious to hear about your return. How did you feel about it all?
You and I were both at the mercy of politics.
Yeah.
And we don't suffer fools gladly. And we're also not driven by fame. We're driven by good work. So that's a different paradigm. Anyway, we expected that people would be helping us, but you're left there alone. So you have to have a different ambition gear that Rob and I really are, well, I don't care about that.
Right. You don't want to play the game.
You have to participate in something that you really don't dig. Fine. But, it started our thing, which is fine. Yeah. Did you go to the 40th?
I did not. Not. At the time, they wouldn't. There was no +1 at the time.
There wasn't for me at that point either.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, if I can't take at the time my spouse, if I can't do that, then it just didn't make sense. So I was like, well, I'm going skiing with the kids. So that's what we did instead. But this one was the 50th, and it was a different circumstance, so I did it.
At the 40th, there was palpable anxiety from everybody.
Really?
Really? Why?
Because it's a status game, and in the pecking order, who's doing what? I saw stars and rock stars rubbernecking.
Yeah.
Because everybody has to walk in line to the studio, and they're thinking, well, right? So it basically kind of it's a line of demarcation of where are you right now in your career.
Wow.
Amazing.
And you should abandon that.
Yeah.
When you walk in, because it doesn't matter.
Of course.
You're you.
But did you do it on this 50th?
Oh yeah.
I was so glad to see you there, because Dave always he just lightens a room. At least when I'm around, he lighten a room, make it fun. Did you have a good experience this time?
Oh yeah. I brought my daughter Margot.
Yeah.
And she's the best.
Yeah.
So I was just interested in making sure she had a good experience.
Yeah.
And having been there before, I decided I will want nothing.
Yeah.
You know, feel my feet on the floor. That's it.
And that probably gave you a lot of peace for the whole thing. Yeah.
So yeah, but even then, there were some people, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. But I was interesting. I just want to be, connect with people. Fine.
It was you got to admit, it was a fascinating room.
Yes.
It was a fascinating room, and I enjoy, because there's so many people I admire, so many people I saw that I really appreciate their work, that I was really happy to see, and old friends and writers and producers and people that were behind the scenes that are not in front of the camera or whatever, who I love and just appreciate their comedy and their their personalities, and it was so nice to see them and catch up, because I hadn't seen them in years, or since I lived in New York, I hadn't seen them, and so it was fun. I enjoyed that aspect of it a lot.
Hey, Paige, will you look up real quick the number of cast members? I think it's at 167.
Oh, I always guess at that.
Well,
I never know.
That's the thing. That's it. 167.
That's all there's ever been?
In 50 years.
In 50 years.
167 cast members.
Wow.
Period.
Yeah.
Focus on that only.
Yeah.
Who cares?
That's unreal.
That is pretty amazing. Now, I do remember when I was on, I would walk down, the offices are up on 17 and the studio's down at 8H, right? On the 8th floor. But on 17, when you get off the elevators, when you walk around to the writers' rooms and offices, they have cast photos from 75 all the way to present, but they also have individual headshots going down both sides of every cast member that's ever been on. Even like Ben Stiller, who was, I think he was on for like 6 months, and they, but everybody who's ever gotten that nod has been up there. And so you walk down that hallway and you look and you're like, oh my gosh, and you realize it's pretty cool.
Who was your favorite? Who was your favorite of all?
Besides Dave?
Besides Dave, and don't include yourself.
Are you talking about for the whole 50 years?
The lifetime? Yeah. Who was your most favorite?
The first guy that
performer?
The first guy that impacted me. The first guy that I couldn't take my eyes off of and found humorous beyond.
I'm gonna guess. Chevy Chase.
Eddie Murphy.
Hearing that. Dave?
Now, I don't get me wrong. Great appreciation. I
get it.
There's a Mount Rushmore for me.
Everyone's got a favorite.
Yeah. But Eddie was the one who kind of captured my attention.
Got that.
Unequivocally.
Okay. How about you, Dave? In your life, watching it.
So I was 13 when it came on. So I was there from the beginning, And the guy that, pops hard and fearless was Belushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 13, that's what you're attracted to, energy and freedom and fearlessness. Right?
Which he was.
Yeah.
Which he was.
But
that first sketch, that very, very, very first sketch. I think you're talking about the Wolverines eating your fingers, eating your fingertips. Yeah.
Head writer.
He played it so straight, and it's one of the most difficult things I think in comedy, especially for young comedians, is living in the silence.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. It's really uncomfortable. It's really hard. And so the first thing you want to do is crack wise or make a face or do something to let everybody know it's going to be okay. But to be able to just sit in it is the hardest thing in the world. And I think he was not afraid of that. And that takes years to get to that place. And he was there at what, 25 he was there?
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
Over time, I think I probably, it's Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Interesting.
Aykroyd. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like Aykroyd is if Eddie is one, Aykroyd's 1A, 1 Bravo. For me. 1A for me, because he was such a fast talking, quick thinking. Efficient. He could memorize dialogue and spew it out, like most technical stuff you ever heard. And quick, and he was dynamic for sure. He still is. Like he's still with us. But you know what? Might have been you, Dave. I'm not sure. So I'm going to give you credit. Why not? But I remember when I went to the show, someone said, they have every show on tape in the library right there at 30 Rock. And I go, really? And they go, yeah, you can watch the very first episode ever if you want. And I go, really? And they go, yeah. So I went to the Paige, there, and I was like,
Right.
can I get a copy of the first episode of these? Yeah.
Right out of the jacket.
And in my office there was a VHS so I popped it in. This is October 11, 1975. I pop it in. The show is not good.
Amazing.
It's not great. It's not great.
It's rough.
It's rough. It's
Right.
really rough.
Yeah, I did the same thing. You finally, there's one good sketch
Yeah.
per show.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about what they were average. That first season was hard.
That's amazing.
But they did it.
yeah.
And they found their way. And I think that goes the problem, here I go, old crusty man, but in television today, you're not allowed to find your way.
Same with music. If you're not a hit out of the gate,
Yeah.
you're gone.
So same thing in television. Television, if you're not hitting whatever numbers,
Yep. That's why so much stuff sucks, because they don't give you a chance to build and
the writers
cultivate and learn.
the actors have to figure out the character.
Mm-hmm.
The writers have to figure out the characters and the actors. The director, the producers have to figure out each other. The studio executives have to let it find its audience. The audience has to find the show. Like, all those things take a minimum, in my opinion, of 2 seasons.
Sure.
A minimum. Maybe 1 season, but it's got to be a full season. Now, if you're not a hit in 3 episodes, it's like, how can you possibly?
It's like Aerosmith if they came out today
Yeah.
with their first record, or something relative to what their first record was, they would have got dropped by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
How do you see it, Dave?
It's chaos, and they never changed it. It's poorly run. The execution of the show and the process is way off.
Oh, that's interesting.
Absolutely the wrong way to run a show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I remember the schedule was the same. When I was on the show, which was 2004 and 2005, when I was on the show, it was the same weekly schedule that they had in 1975. Same thing. I was like, so we haven't modified this? They're like, nope, this is how it is. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Because it was wildly inefficient. Like, we could be doing a much more efficient job of this, but I was like, all right, this is it's the formula.
The show could be brilliant every week. It's no way to run a show.
That's interesting.
Absolutely not.
That's cool.
What do you think about TV overall, though, as far as like finding an audience?
Well, I'm just talking about the way that show in particular is put together.
Yeah. But you got to admit, the paradigm recently has changed, obviously, with the digital space. It's not like the pilots of old or, the TV shows of old. Those are gone, I think. I don't know if they're ever coming back.
Agreed.
It's a scary. Scary. It's just change is happening, and I guess it's how
and
you
I'm not
look at
opposed
it.
to change. Change is inevitable, but I just
you and I and Dave are probably used to how it used to be.
Yeah.
For a lot of years of doing what you do, and then now everything's shifting so fast. It's like,
Well, the old paradigm, everybody knew their place as far as like, oh, this is how I get paid.
Sure.
That's how the writer gets paid. That's how the producer gets paid. That's how the director gets paid. That's how the network gets paid. When that blows up, everybody's like, I don't know how any of this works anymore.
Totally.
And there's somebody who is getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Some gatekeeper out there is getting paid, but you don't know who it is, and you're not getting yours.
Claire, is it you? Is it you, Claire?
It's definitely not me.
Damn it.
Damn.
I would argue we are now our own gatekeepers.
Okay, I like that. Tell me more. How do you see it?
So you have to figure out what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Always.
our jobs are gone in 5 years for AI. Fine. So I say, ride the tiger or it's going to eat you.
Uh-huh.
Slowly figure out how AI is going to serve you for your purpose.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Are you doing research into that for you?
No, I just talk about it. Slowly. It's daunting. Make 5 minutes a day. Just play with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Or actually, so there should be, that would be a business to
Teach
coach
it?
people on how to use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy once you figure it out. All you
Right.
have to do is tell the thing what you want.
Yeah.
And
And by the way, this is the infancy of it.
Oh, we're in the genesis of this, and there are kids who are like 17 right now, killing it.
Yeah.
none of that matters.
Why? Why?
Focus on your thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Focus on your thing.
I agree.
How's it going to
But
serve you?
well, but now also don't forget, like, remember 95, 94? Hey, this internet thing, it's coming. Oh, what? Blah blah blah. Then the .com. Like, there's going to be evolution in this thing, and then it's going to take over your life. Well, AI, we're at the 1994, 95 phase
Yeah.
of the internet.
This is the
with
talkies.
AI. Yeah,
We're in the talkies.
we're in the
now.
talkies now.
Yep.
and it's about to get hot, red hot.
Can you look at it as a gift?
Yeah,
I don't see why not. I mean,
I can.
What other choice do you have? You know, you can't treat it like a Terminator.
Our first thought is a threat
yeah. Fight, flight.
because they're going to take our image and it's gone.
Yeah.
But we can do the same. Now, I don't know where, but if you use the tool,
Okay.
it's yours.
If you you either have to master the engine or the engine master you.
It's all the
It's Terminator.
It's all the singularity, bro.
I have no idea. I do know though that we are getting ready to do the big slick in Kansas City this May.
I can't wait to come out to that.
It's going to be fun. I'm so glad you're going to be part of it
I'm
this year
stoked.
and experience it.
Yes.
Hopefully you get on stage and play some drums too.
Dude, please
Yeah.
let me do that.
Yeah, we got some things cooking up that you're going to be part of. I think it'll be fun.
It's not possible to have anything but a great time.
Yeah.
I am I'm over the moon about it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
And when you get to the hospital and you meet everybody there,
Oh God, I'm already like
yeah,
preparing for that.
it's powerful. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It changes you in the right way.
right. I think about it and it moves me.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to do all the things.
It's funny once you come, you're like, oh, it becomes very clear. You're like, no, this is what I need to do.
This is right.
Yeah, I need to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for hosting it and creating it, and as a citizen, I appreciate it.
Yep, and shout out to our families.
Let's go.
For doing all the work all year round. Hey, Dave, where can people go see you next? I saw that big board you got in front of you. I know you're out there.
This week in Eugene, Oregon, then Nashville for a movie, and then
Woo!
what's the one in Livermore?
California.
Oh, nice.
A lot.
Nice. So, do you? Is there a website that folks can go to find out? Like, is it, or do they just go to Instagram at Dave Koechner?
No, DavidKoechner.com.
David-
Yeah, Instagram's the easiest thing.
Easiest gram. Okay, so go to the gram. Go to the gram, folks, and you can find out what's going on with Koechner at David Koechner for that, and you'll find out where he's going to be playing because I imagine he's coming to a city near you.
Well, based on that board, he's coming to a city near everyone.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Dave, always a pleasure seeing you, man. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, but thanks for having me.
Absolutely, brother.
Thanks so much.
I shouldn't bring it up.
Oh, what's up?
I was told that there'd be a meal.
You told him?
I didn't say. I'm sorry, Dave. Maybe there was a miscommunication. There's
Dave, I'm sorry. We talked about it, but apparently Claire may not have conveyed
No,
that.
just I'll Uber Eats and send you the bill. No big.
Oh, okay.
Send it to.
You have Claire's.
Send it to Gary.
Gary will
Yeah,
take care of that.
Gary will pick it up. Yes. Feel free.
Yes. Matter of fact, do what you want. Go for it.
Hook Paige up and just you guys go to town.
Yeah. This is on Gary.
Great. I'm happy.
Good. Hey, all right.
Okay.
Crisis averted. Thanks, Dave.
God bless. Thank you so much.
See you, brother.
Thanks, Dave. That was amazing.
All right. Right, Dave.
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I didn't know Dave like you know Dave.
Yeah.
You've had conversations with Dave.
Yes.
The tempo of his conversation
Yeah.
is it's not what I expected. I'll be honest with you. I expected Champ Kind to a degree. You know what I mean?
Well,
but he's thoughtful.
yeah. Well, he is. He is very thoughtful, but he also he keeps you on your toes.
Oh, there's
You know what I mean?
You
kind of have to be paying attention because he's gonna.
Yep.
And you see at the very end how he slid into a bit like he
Yep.
it's so you kind of that's why it's when you talk with you got to stay on your toes.
There, it's very interesting
because he'll go from very sincere
Mm-hmm.
to bit.
but it's the same cadence from sincere, bit, sincere, and then you're like,
Wait, what?
did he just slip that in there? And it's pretty awesome to watch. And I noticed that with almost all of our guests, everyone has their own flow.
Yeah.
And his was very unique, and I thought it was cool.
I got to give Dave a lot of credit too. In the very, very beginning of my career, when I moved to New York, still in the Marines, I was dreaming about comedy, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to begin. I didn't even know how to start.
Right.
And so I literally just went and took comedy classes at a stand-up,
Like, hey,
club.
come do stand-up.
Well, literally, there was a stand-up club in my neighborhood on the Upper East Side called Comic Strip Live, and I walked up and I just looked at it and I was like, "Is this where I start?" Like that's honestly, I knew nothing.
This is the beginning.
I just knew I wanted to do it, and so I go up and I look, and it said, classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Okay, this is how you do it." I had no idea.
That's so cool.
So I went and took the classes. I hated it. Because I liked Eddie Murphy. I liked his style of storytelling.
Right.
I liked that style. And this guy was like 3 jokes per minute. Set up, punch, set up, punch, set up, punch. That's how we do it. I was like, okay. So he's like, you're going to do 5 minutes. Then you're going to bring 2 guests. Ever got to bring 2 guests to the, wait for your performance night. 2 drink minimum. I'm like, oh, God.
This is just a hustler.
It's a shakedown.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, I said yes. I had no intention to bring. I didn't know anybody, and I'm definitely not going to bring him to the first time I ever do stand up. So I was like, yeah, I got you. I hated it. I didn't bomb, but I also didn't do great.
It wasn't your jam.
It just was. It felt really awkward, but I also didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, I got done with that, and I remember being really bummed out, really, really sad, thinking, I made a huge mistake coming here thinking I could do comedy. This is not what I thought it was going to be. This sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I had known Dave through a mutual friend. I had never met him, but I'd known of him.
Right.
And my friend said, because I was lamenting, and my friend said, why don't you talk to Dave? And I was like, Dave's, he's too busy. He's just got off SNL, He's too busy. He's doing stuff. And he's like, well, he lives in New York. So I was like, So I reached out. He said, yeah, let's have coffee or whatever. So I went and had coffee with him. And he's like, we talked about what I was trying to do and all this stuff. And he was like, yeah, well, that's one way to do it. And there's another. He goes, have you ever thought about long form improv? And I was like, no, what is that? And as I said, I think it's like Second City in Chicago. And he was like, yeah. And there's these guys who are guys and gals who are coming from Chicago out here to New York, and they're starting their own theater.
UCB.
Called the Upright Citizens Brigade.
So he's responsible for keeping you going.
Yeah. Because he's responsible for pointing me in the right direction.
Sure.
Because then I said, well, okay. He goes, well, go down and see the thing. I went and saw their show, and that was it. I was hooked. And I started my career kind of through the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater.
Thank you, Dave Koechner.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be at this table if it wasn't for him. Let's go, dude.
Let's go, baby.
Well, you know what time it is, right?
It's time to say goodbye.
It's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.